That professor laid out the possible next steps for the defense and the prosecution and some of the other factors that could be examined. David Jaros is a law professor at the University of Baltimore School of Law. When it comes to the case of Luigi Mangione, he says first is the question of extradition. After that, in New York,
he'll be appointed an attorney or his family will hire one. And then the process will begin where we start to move through both early discovery, negotiations between the prosecution and the defense. It wouldn't surprise me at all if mental health experts became involved in this case. And then the question would be, are they able to reach a resolution or does this case go to trial?
Jaros thinks that prosecutors are probably looking at a pretty strong case.
It looks like they'll have pretty overwhelming evidence. Now, I say this not having seen the evidence myself and not knowing what issues could come up, but at the moment it doesn't seem like there's a question as to whether or not he was the one who pulled the trigger and that he planned to do it.
And when it comes to the defense, Jaros says
it's still early in the case, but the evidence seems relatively strong. It sounds like they found writings that were suggestive that he was focused on this and may have admitted guilt in essence. And so I think the real question is just going to be whether or not the defense can develop the kind of backstory that makes it appropriate to get a plea offer.
It remains to be seen whether the case actually goes to a jury. But if it does, when it comes to picking a jury,
they would be asked about whether or not they had developed any kind of conclusions about the case, what they had learned, whether they had any kind of connections to the issues that this case raises that might make them biased in any way.
And even though the case has been getting a lot of attention,
but it's not required that someone not have heard about the case, just that they say that they can be fair in evaluating the evidence and applying the law. In the vast majority of cases, jurors will be instructed that you have to find all the elements of the crime, and if you do find them beyond a reasonable doubt, you are obligated to return a verdict of guilty here. And I would be very surprised if the jurors did anything to upset that.
Now, of course, this is all still in the early stages. Jaros says that there's still so much to learn in this case. There's still much more to learn about Mangione, and what they discover could help shape this all moving forward. Reporting live here in North Baltimore, Kyrie Stewart, WBAL TV 11 News.